Haben is a ugly, disgusting loser student who faces bullying at school every day. One day, overwhelmed and desperate for a change, he types how to fight into YouTube's search bar. Hours of searching lead him to a hidden channel called Chicken Head Man, boasting 0 subscribers and a strange profile picture. That day, his life is going to change. Our story begins with Paco, a popular YouTuber celebrating reaching 700,000 subscribers. Rumi, his classmate and guest on his channel, also a new YouTuber, knows how to get views from the algorithm. Paco asks about Rumi's channel. She talks about makeup tutorials, but her recent try at making Haben a model wasn't good. Haben, convinced by Paco, puts on a fake smile for the camera but privately feels embarrassed. Haben puts up with Paco's jokes because despite Paco not being very smart, his channel makes a lot of money. Rumi, though she has fewer followers, gets donations easily. Haben, feeling worthless and having nothing to use, accepts his situation. Back in class, Haben gets criticized by Snapper, Paco's cameraman, for his ugly face violating community guidelines. Snapper, part of a troublemaking group but not brave, hesitates around Haben. Snapper and Rumi have benefited from Paco's success, Snapper as a cameraman and Rumi from streaming revenue. Haben, facing money problems, thinks about starting his own YouTube channel. Snapper asks Paco about starting his own channel, needing help because he's too young for revenue. His bad relationship with his parents after stealing from them. Snapper, thoughtless but cunning, suggests Haben use his sick mother's bank account, which makes others laugh at Haben. Later, at the hospital visiting his sick mother, Haben tries to stay positive despite her worsening health. The evening finds Haben at home, nursing bruises from a recent fight. His worried mother notices, but he shrugs it off, not wanting to worry her more. Downstairs, he hears his mother struggling to pay a $30,000 hospital bill, equal to a week's hard work flipping burgers. Meanwhile, others effortlessly make that much in 20 minutes. Despite life's challenges, Haben finds comfort in being near his crush, Bomi, at work. She's admired at the restaurant, and being around her makes him happy. His brief relief is interrupted by Paco showing up at the restaurant. Haben worries Paco is there to bother him but is surprised to find out Paco's real reason: to impress Bomi, who's become famous for her looks. Paco challenges Bomi, make a burger in 30 seconds or give him her phone number. Knowing Bomi is new and can't meet the challenge, Haben secretly steps in. He quickly makes a burger himself, with a fly on top, impressing Bomi and possibly gaining her admiration. Later that night, at home during dinner, Haben faces another issue: Snapper, who has forced him to allow streaming at his house and access to his mother's bank account. Haben, reluctantly serving ramen, adds a spiteful gesture before handing it to Snapper. During Snapper's live stream, where he earns $30,000 in donations, Haben thinks about asking for a share. But a mistake leads to Haben accidentally disrupting the stream and spilling hot ramen on Snapper's face. Furious, Snapper blames Haben for his failure and mocks Haben about his mother's illness. In anger, Haben fights back, throwing kimchi and landing a punch on Snapper. Though Snapper retaliates, Haben stands his ground, realizing he can defend himself. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, a girl watches their food fight with curiosity. She may not respect them, but they've caught her interest. After the fight, Haben looks around his damaged home, feeling the aftermath now that the rush has faded. He worries about fixing everything but ignores it, collapsing and falling asleep on the floor. The next morning, Snapper calls in a panic, demanding Haben delete their YouTube fight video. Confused, Haben checks and finds their kimchi fight has gone viral worldwide. Snapper explains his parents will punish him if they see it, embarrassed to lose to someone fighting with kimchi. Haben considers deleting it but notices discussions about views earning money, 0.1 yen per view, and sees it's made 1 million yen overnight with over 10 million views. At school, everyone's seen the video, and Snapper's reputation suffers. He tries asserting dominance but fails, his ties with Paco now useless. Meanwhile, Haben learns his mother's weekly treatment now costs 120,000 yen despite his new wealth. Outside, Snapper demands half the video earnings. Haben refuses, and they fight until evening when Haben consoles Snapper. But Haben won't share the money. Snapper then shows a video of their fight and suggests teaming up. Haben, seeing a chance for profit, agrees. They plan to make money by combining Snapper's skills and Haben's fame. Snapper thought he was smart, believing he could manipulate Haben into giving him control of the account. His goal was to boost his social status by using Haben until he could take full control. When they discussed sharing profits, Snapper boldly suggested an unfair deal. He would take 90% of the earnings while Haben would get only 10%. Hobbin saw through his scheme and, feeling they weren't friends, reacted firmly before walking away. Realizing he needed Hobbin to succeed, Snapper panicked and tried to salvage things with a better offer. But Hobbin's initial refusal had cooled his enthusiasm. Eventually, Snapper agreed to a fairer split, settling for just 10%. With the deal settled, Hobbin asked about their content plans. Snapper, underestimating Hobbin but bound by their agreement, proposed making videos where Hobbin confronted bullies in real life.